I've come up here to the so-called Roßfeldstraße in South Germany, Bavaria, and this is just a beautiful long street going over a mountain, I guess. So I'm quite high up at the moment, I think at about 1,600 meters or so, and this is not the top. I went to the top and went down to the other side to check it out, and now I'm back up to this side, and I stopped here to make my first stop because I want to finally snap some photos. It is beautiful. It's a cloudy, lightly raining day, and yeah, I'd say I'll strap on the GoPro and let's take a little walk around here and see what kind of shots we can get, because this place is looking very promising. I started off with a classic, a simple straight photo down the road, which I think actually came out quite cool. And then on the other side of the road I found this little slope here, which I also shot. I continued a little further down the road and came across this hut in between the trees. I thought the trees could work well as a frame for the hut, and it turned out okay, not really special or anything. Further down the road, I came across this sweet viewpoint here. I shot a couple photos and tried to have that tree on the right act as a point of interest in the photo. Again, it's alright, I like the mood of the photo, but it doesn't really satisfy me. After that, I went back up the road and found some trees which I thought would work well for a minimalistic and very low composition. That was it for the first stop. I got back into the car and drove up closer to the top of the road, but first I parked for another stop. This place looked amazing. I really liked how the road acted as a leading line to the trees and behind those to the mountain, so I zoomed into 75mm and got this shot here, which I think turned out quite nicely. Then here to the right, the field in the distance caught my eye, so I snapped a few casual shots of that. They're alright, but definitely not the best of the day. I continued on the other side of the road and walked up here to check out the view, and damn, there was one. But shooting a view like this is really hard, I find. The photos just never look as good as it does in real life. Therefore, instead of getting the wide shots, I tried to concentrate on certain details in the landscape, which I enjoyed. These shots of the trees with the massive mountain in the background turned out pretty cool, I think. I walked up the road a little further and decided to get some shots in the far distance, for which I got out the GX80 with the 14-140mm. As you can see, I went slightly experimental with the editing. I didn't really like the natural look of the photos, so I gave them all a dark, kind of Blue Hour style look, which I think turned out nicely. After that, I was on my way back to the car and found this scene here, which I captured with the Samyang 14mm. And then, instead of getting back into the car, I decided to check out the field I had shot previously. And on the way to the entrance I snapped this shot here, which has a strong road trip feeling to it. Therefore I gave this shot a very warm edit. So here, on the track, through the field, it didn't take long to find the next potential photo. I shot the landscape in the distance, with the trees here in the foreground. Next, I continued to walk up the track, and around the corner I came across these cows. I walked in their direction, but keeping my distance because, as many don't seem to know, cows can actually be quite dangerous. And so I shot some photos from the distance. However, the cows then slowly walked up to me until they got really close.
Oh, Hilfe. Getting too close. I don't have food for you. I'm kinda scared of these guys.
Anyway, I escaped from the cows and left with these two shots, which I think turned out pretty cool. After that, I drove on further up the road again to the highest point of the road before it begins to descend again. Of course, the first thing I did was check out the view, and I got a photo of the two huts in the distance. There was a very short hiking trail along this ridge which I walked, and I got to this spot which looked like a fine place to find a few more shots, which indeed happened. I got some photos of the plants here in front of me, the mountain, and also the two huts again. I really like how these photos turned out, maybe my favorites so far. This here is the end of the mini hiking trail, and I got another shot of the scenery because I liked how the track acted as a leading line in the frame. After that, I walked back to the car to begin my way down the road towards the exit, but before reaching the end, I found another place worth stopping. So this is about halfway down the road where I found a parking area next to a track that seemed to lead into the forest, so I decided to check it out. I didn't go deep into the forest, just a little check, but even though I only walked such a small distance into the forest, I found quite a few things to shoot, and I'm quite fond of the outcome. Here I'm returning to the car to continue to the exit, but I came across another spot worth stopping. As you can see, I drove over this bridge and conveniently there was a parking spot right after it, so I could hop out and check out the bridge and maybe find some cool compositions. I had the Samyang 14mm on the camera again, so I was able to capture super wide images, even when standing not that far away from the bridge. Behind the spot where I was standing to shoot the bridge was this forest, and I decided to get some wide shots of the trees with the 14mm because that lens always gives these kind of photos a pretty nice and unique look. Then, before going back to the car, I walked down the track which went under the bridge to check out the perspective on this bridge from the low angle. Here are the shots I got. I really like the second one. And then I wanted to return to the car, however, before crossing the road, I thought, oh, this scene also needs to be shot, so I carefully went into the middle of the road to quickly get a few shots and then run to the car. These shots also came out really nicely. I like the texture the water drops on the lens add to the photo. And that was it. After that, I got to the exit and didn't stop for any more shots. I'd say this was a successful little trip with quite a few photos worth keeping. I can't really reduce it to one photo of the day, so here are just my few favorites of the day which I personally like the most. Feel free to leave your favorite in the comments, I'm interested to read what you think. I hope you enjoyed this little behind the scenes video joining me on this rainy day. If so, leave a like, it helps the channel grow, and I hope to see you again next week in the next video. Until then, goodbye.